expecting a new witness to take the stand at 9:30 a.m. this morning here at the Bridget Mabandla Justice College after alleged cartel member Vusimuzi Matlala in the main, or rather in the interim, has completed his evidence before the probe, and he is set to return, or rather the postponement is set to be made at a date to be announced with respect to Matlala. We do know that he's going back to his trial and he's going to focus on that in the interim until or if the commission calls him back to answer to some of the questions that had been put to him in that notice that was sent to him. Yesterday was quite significant. Even though he holds on to that right against self-incrimination, you did see him loosen his grip when he was cautioned about the fact that he doesn't enjoy the privilege of refusing to answer in its entirety. So essentially, when he was asked about key law enforcement officers who were alleged to have some kind of alleged beneficial relationship with Matlala, those are names such as Major General Lesejo Sonona, Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibia. We did see that he tried to invoke his right yet again because of the fear of incriminating himself, which means that he understood that some of the conduct or the nature of the relationship between individuals, such as the ones that I've mentioned, could land him in hot water in terms of a criminal process. But be that as it may, even though he did hold on to it, there are some answers that you managed to get from him, and I think the most significant would be that of Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibia and what could have allegedly been the dynamic between him as a high-ranking general and then, of course, persons of interest before the Madlanga Commission. At the very least, we see Matlala confirm allegations that Sergeant Fanikosi was an alleged middleman for Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibia, and he confirms allegations of collecting money, or rather Sibia collecting money. Where he seems to draw the line, however, is speaking on the source of the money that he is collecting. We do know that in the context of Lieutenant General Matlala's version of the meeting at the Pearls between Sonona, Matlala and Lieutenant General Matlala, he alleges that Matlala told him of Sibia's alleged dealings and the fact that Sibia was allegedly collecting money from a businessman, a Steve Mutsumi. However, when he was confronted with this evidence before the probe, we saw that Matlala didn't want to go anywhere near that suggestion. The only thing he was willing to confirm is the allegation that Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibia was allegedly collecting money using his alleged middleman, Sergeant Fanikosi. So although we saw this Section 35 rights of the Constitution come in the way for most of the testimony yesterday, there were advancements in the sense that you were able to hear evidence that confirms some of the allegations surrounding these high-ranking generals and allegedly being compromised. But the evidence was left stagnant with respect to the alleged network, how deep that web exists, and of course what then that means for the various interactions that you see before the probe. So although that evidence is incomplete, I think at the least what Matlala has confirmed is what the allegations are about Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibia, that is the suspended Deputy National Commissioner. But the Commission is no wiser about the alleged cartel or the alleged network or who the sources of the funds that Sibia was allegedly collecting through his alleged middleman was. We'll find out at 9:30 a.m. how the Commission is going to take its continued work forward as it heads towards that 2nd of October evidence deadline, with a new witness expected on the stand at 9:30 a.m.